A lot of people are writing Donald right now about now being the time for a third party.
Donald, we'll get to the nice dance about are you going to run or are you not going to run. Let's first talk about the issues, though. What should presidential candidates be talking about in 2012? What is the main issue?
Well, I think the biggest issue, Joe, is that this country is being really treated very, very unfairly and very badly by our so-called friends like China, like other countries. I won't mention China is the biggest culprit by far, in my opinion, but other countries. They view us as having foolish and stupid leadership. I deal with these people. I make deals with them. They can't believe what they're getting away with. I think that the lifeblood is being sucked out of us by OPEC, where you have a small group of men, in this case all men, I don't have to say men and women, you have a small group of men sitting around a table and they set the price of oil. In fact, oil just hit over $80 a barrel again yesterday, because anytime there's any sign of hope for the economy, they sit around and they raise the price of oil by $5 a barrel. And, amazingly, there's more oil than you know what to do with. Ships are out at sea by the hundreds, by the thousands, and they're loaded up with oil. They don't know what to do with it. And, frankly, these people have it should be an illegal monopoly. If you and I did it in a business, you'd be put in jail. And we can get back to the country, but what's happening is outside forces are destroying this country. We're rebuilding China because everything we make is made in China and other places, but in China. And China, the Chinese people that I know, they tell me we can't believe we're getting away with it. The valuation of their currency is ridiculous. You can't compete with it. And, I was telling people the other day, I was ordering windows for a building, and a lot of them. And so many bids come in from China. Everyone wants to go China because, and by the way, their product isn't nearly as good as Pella and lots of other of the great companies that we have in this country. But it's very, very hard to compete when you have a false currency. Just like the national anthem when they sung at the Olympics, it wasn't that girl. The beautiful little girl with a great voice turned out not to be her. Just like their gymnasts that were way underage, and they said, no, that's not true. Well, it turned out to be true. We are rebuilding China with this country. And then, of course, you get to the wars, where we take a hill, we lose lives, we spend billions of dollars. We build a school, we build a road, we build everything, and then the enemy comes and blows it up. And in the meantime, we can't build our own roads. We can't build our own schools. I mean, we have a great man, Chris Christie. He will tell you look at the roads going into Manhattan, the most important city in the world, in my view, and they're all crumbling. And yet we're building roads in Iraq, and we're building roads all over the place. And Iraq has $12 trillion worth of oil under their ground.
$12 billion, Donald, it's fascinating. You talk about the crumbling roads going into New York City. Dr. Brzezinski went to China, flew back into Washington, and he said when he landed in Washington, it was like he was going back 50 years from what he saw in China. You say that the Chinese believe, and other people around the world believe, and I've heard this, they do, but that we have, quote, foolish and stupid leaders for letting them get away with what they get away with. Explain that.
Well, they tell me this, Joe. These are people that I deal with. We have dinners, and they drink, and I don't drink because I'm not a drinker. But they drink, and they say things, and maybe, frankly, they say things they shouldn't be saying, but it doesn't matter. I mean, we all know it's true. And they'll say, Donald, we cannot believe what we are getting away with. Your people are stupid that are leading your country. And they are stupid. Today in the Wall Street Journal, I'm reading where our businesses are being investigated because they're paying off foreign governments in order to get business. Let the foreign governments investigate our business. Why are we going to put our businesses in jail because they're paying off foreign governments? Wouldn't you think that the foreign governments should be doing that, not us? We can investigate our own people with paying off our own officials. But these people are trying to get business, probably in corrupt countries, and they're trying to get business. We're investigators, so we're going to put them in jail for doing this. So, and I'm not using that as a big example, but it's one of many examples. I'll give you another one, and this is one that really hits home. When Iraq took over Kuwait, we went into Kuwait. We spent lives, and billions of dollars, and we took Kuwait back. The sheiks that run Kuwait, that own Kuwait, they don't run it, they own it. They have total lock, stock, and barrel ownership of Kuwait. They left their London hotels, and by the way, their suites are an entire building. They didn't take a suite like you would take a suite, like a nice one-bedroom suite. They took the whole building. They went back, Joe, into Kuwait, were handed the country back. They were handed it back. And now if you go to the Kuwaiti fund, which is one of the largest funds in the world, and say, we have a deal we want to do in the United States, they will go, no, 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 we do not like the potential of the United States. We do not like investing in the United States. We want to invest. We want to invest where there's more growth opportunity. We handed this back to them. Now, if we handed it back, why didn't they pay us? We put out all their fires. You know, Saddam Hussein blew up all their oil wells. We put all the oil wells back. We never got 10 cents. Why didn't we get paid?
Donald, we're going to go around the table for some quick questions to see what other accents you're going to take a crack at. Real quick, just political advice. I'd just leave the accents to others. Pat Buchanan.
Donald, if you had a single thing that you would do or have the Congress or the President do to make it a more level playing field with the Chinese, what would you do?
Well, the first thing I'd do is appoint, you know, we have great business people in this country. They're great. They're better than anybody. I could name you 10 people that I won't do now, but 10 brutal killers that are smarter than anybody. There's a group. And you read about them and you hear about them and they do their thing and they do it effectively for many, many years. The first thing I do is get rid of the stupid diplomats that are representing us that don't have a clue other than being nice and put in some of our killers against their killers. And I'll bet on ours every time. We don't have the proper people representing us. When China sends its people over, they're sending brutal, tough negotiators, and we have, you know, characters that I don't want to name personally because it's not appropriate, but we don't have the kind of representation that we need. These are very smart, very sharp people, and they're stripping our country. They're stripping. Joe, you try and do business in China. It's impossible. And yet they come here and they dump so much crap, whether it's sheetrock that's poisoning our I mean, you get to see sheetrock. If you bought Chinese sheetrock, it's destroying the lives of people. I don't know if you've been hearing about that, but the same with glass and windows, and they're dumping all this stuff on us. Then they go out and they loan us back our money by buying bonds. We pay them interest.
All right. Thank you very much for that. So you sound frustrated. You sound extremely convincing about what you think is wrong, Donald. You talk about foolish, stupid leaders. Do you want to get into the conversation or actually get into the political game?
Well, there's a lot to get in the conversation about. You know, one thing I was thinking about this morning, I'm building a big building in Panama, and it's doing nicely. And the reason it's doing nicely is because brilliantly, in one of the great business deals of all time, you know, just not to knock one person, let's go to somebody else. Jimmy Carter gave away the Panama Canal for $1. Okay, $1. He gave it away. It cost us so much in terms of lives. And we gave it away, and the country, by the way, totally thriving. They're now building a new Panama Canal. They're doing so well. So, and I say that's okay, but wouldn't it be nice if perhaps they paid our country something? So, you know, when you say what can we do, when can we do it, we have to appoint the right people.
Okay, that wasn't an answer to my question.
I know, I'm trying to avoid your question.
Oh, okay. Well, that's nice. Thank you for the offer of the ride yesterday. It was very nice to talk to you today.
All right.
But it would be good if you could answer the question on Morning Joe at some point when you feel like it.
Well, I can tell you this, Mika. For the first time in my life, I've had so many people over the years ask me to do that. And for the first time in my life, I am absolutely thinking about it. I don't know that I'll do it. It's probable that I won't do it, but I can tell you I'm thinking about it. Somebody has to do something. We are losing this country. This country will not be great